Hey there, ghouls, gals, creeps, and mutants. The Undead Matt here. So, recently you might be aware of the fact that we have been changing things around for the podcast. And one of those things has been to actually find a new place so we can actually distribute our content out so that way it can stop taking away from our budget. Yeah, that is literally one of the reasons. And I'm being completely honest with you about it because when we started the show, we had to get used to the fact that a good chunk of our budget how to go to a media host so our content could be distributed to iTunes and Spotify and Google Play and all the other major and not so major platforms that stream podcasts. So when I heard the fact that anchors can do it and will do it for free, I was immediately skeptical, thinking that this is too good to be true type of thing. Well, thankfully, I am more happy to be wrong than I am right in a lot more instances. And this is one instance where I'm glad I am wrong. Not only does Anchor not charge you to distribute your content, but they actually pay you to actually put out your content. That's right. They will actually pay you and do not require you to have a certain amount of listeners in order to do that. Which it kind of blew my mind because again, when we started, we understood the fact that you needed a minimum amount of listenership in order to get sponsors, in order to get paid from your media host. But thankfully, Anchor does not work like that. They built this site with the eager podcaster in mind for the eager podcaster. And what's so fantastic about it is not only will they just pay you to, do what you want to do and talk about what you want to talk about and do the things that you love, but it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. That's right. They do the work for you. They distribute your podcast everywhere. That with the fact that they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone makes this an absolute must for any podcaster starting out or who has been in the business for a while now. It has everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And here's the thing now, if you want to be part of it, again, this is all free. So make sure you go and download the free Anchor app right now and go to anchor.fm to get started. It takes less than 5 minutes to switch over your content. I mean, we have almost 150 episodes in total, also, considering all of our bonus content. And when we switched everything over, it maybe took 3 to 5 minutes for everything to fully switch over. And there was no issue at all. They're very, 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 very effective with bringing your content over to the new Anchor site and making the transition as smooth as possible. Anchor, again, is absolutely free to use, and we are glad that we made the switch. And again, ghouls, gals, creeps, and mutants, please check them out. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. With that being said, let's jump into some horror. Welcome back, everyone, to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast Band Showcase episode special spectacular extravaganza. I'm trying to think of a new title for it because now we're bringing on musicians who aren't just musicians, and I'll get to that moment. But joined with me, as always, is my cohort in crime, Cody.
Hello. One of the few appearances I get in these.
But it might be its own thing. This is definitely mostly a special bonus episode because we have somebody with us who not only is willing to sell 500 horror DVDs just to get a guitar, but
700 VHS tapes.
And that's true. That's true. And is also in the vanilla milkshakes, but is also writing and doing stuff in horror as well. Everybody, please welcome the amazing David McGhee to the show. Welcome, David.
Welcome.
Myself amazing.
You are amazing.
You're amazing.
You're on here. Of course you're amazing.
God, I'm amazing.
So, welcome, David. I mean, you're a pretty big deal. I mean, you're writing stuff for Trauma and for a new film called Frankenhooker. I'm not going to go into all of that because I want to hear you talk about it, of course. But again, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me and Cody and for talking with us. Technically, we do live in the same state, so I also do appreciate you willing to do this over via Zoom as well.
And thank you for giving me my nap.
You're welcome. Problem. I'm glad we were able to do that.
Everyone's got to rest.
Playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I was like, wait a second.
I need to sleep.
No, I was like, wait a second. Aren't I supposed to be talking to somebody right now?
At least you're honest about it.
Final Fantasy
we appreciate
is a time escape, man.
So yeah,
Nothing wrong
Dave.
with Final Fantasy. I'm stoked for 16.
I'm stoked for Resident Evil Village.
Oh, me too. I just finally got played through all of 7 because I just had to sit down one day finally and be like, I need to play through this because Village is coming out and I need to know the
Yeah.
story. And it's fucking great.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. They made it seem like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's not really that. The more you get into it, the more it's just like, that little girl's evil, man.
Yeah, I know. I felt so bad in the end, though. Like, she almost made me cry.
It's the trope with horror, right? It always revolves around the girl somehow. She really is either pure evil or she's just a sad casualty of ultimate evil. Like, why do children always get it the rough way, right?
Yeah, also,
Pretty much.
also, I'm autistic. Why do autistic kids in movies always have special powers?
I know.
I'm
Like in the new
glad.
Predator movie, the autistic kid is the only one who could use the Predator weapons, and it's badass.
Or in Dreamcatcher, the autistic one is an alien that's here to fight the other alien, and we just find out about it like last moment.
Yeah, or Firestarter. She starts fires.
Yeah.
You are the fire starter.
I mean, I guess there is a difference, right? I guess individuals who have autism in horror movies are generally just given cool powers. I feel like there's a rule somewhere, like, is the character going to have autism? Yes. Okay. Give them the ability to light stuff on fire.
Yeah, they're more well equipped for the horror.
I actually sent Stephen King a well-written letter about stop using autistic kids for your plot devices.
Wait, so did you actually send him that letter, or
No.
so you did send it,
Right.
but you don't know if he actually got it?
Yeah, but apparently he reads everything, but I didn't get a response, so
He might have read it and just like, just gonna put that one in the corner for now. Like, I'll get back to that letter.
We're gonna have to start doing some sleuthing and see if at the time you sent the letter, and then follow up with all the other things he came out with to see if he kept putting any autistic people in his books that have powers.
I actually, after Under the Dome, and I sent that, he's actually eased up on the magical kid powers.
Oh, nice.
That we might have the person who is the reason why he's let up on it. So all right,
Honestly, I think it's just because, and now that autism is more prevalent and stuff, and people can understand it and seek it sooner and find it better and stuff, he's kind of looking back at it and going, I was kind of ignorant.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I could see that. Do you
I
feel?
definitely see Stephen King being one that definitely like evolves with the times.
He definitely is.
Yeah, he's a lot more open to stuff like that, which I like a lot.
I mean, he has called out J.K. Rowling a lot recently for her stuff, so I think he's called her out. I think he did. I could be mistaken. I know he doesn't like support her really, and I think he made that known.
She's transphobic.
Yeah, no, she is. Yeah.
We're pretty certain. I can't remember if it was just a meme or if like Stephen King actually sent her a tweet saying like, "Well, you're trash for being a transphobe. Don't like comment about my writing and stuff. I'm pro all of that. Like, you guys go."
Yeah, I think he did send that. That is a very Stephen King thing to do, to really call out someone. Like,
Yeah.
for as quiet of a guy as he looks, he's pretty vocal on social media.
Yeah.
Well, he's better with writing. He's better with writing than he is vocalizing things.
Fair enough.
I think that's because he gets to sit down and put his words together. He's like the liberal Trump. He's sitting in the bathroom tweeting, and he hits send and just wonders what he just did.
Yeah, but at least it's more articulate.
The Punk Rock Horror Podcast is the only podcast where you can hear someone compare Stephen King to being liberal Trump. So I'm proud of that now. All right. So far, my favorite interview yet. yeah, David. So obviously now at this point, people know that you are an individual who has autism, but you're also doing a lot of these amazing things. You know, you're playing in the band the Vanilla Milkshakes, and you're also doing a lot of stuff in horror. So I guess let's start there first. Let's talk about what it's been like playing in a band, and you don't even just play, you're also the front of the band for the most part. You do a lot of singing, and you're a very important element of it. What has it been like, you know, being in the Vanilla Milkshakes and being on that journey?
Well, on one hand, I hate being the center of attention. On the other hand, I don't want anyone else singing my songs. So I just sort of suck it up and play. What?
I don't want anybody else.
Yeah, that's.
Is that Frank?
The truth comes out.
Well, we didn't hear him. What did he say?
He said my drummer laughed because he sings too, and I said I don't want anyone else singing my songs, and he laughed and said the truth came out. It's been really fun, and also before COVID happened, we were really going somewhere, and we're trying to keep relevant by releasing. We're gonna hopefully release some Steve Fist remixes soon. The guy that recorded Soundgarden's Super Unknown.
I know, that's cool. Like I was waiting for more.
The last album was recorded by Jack and Dino in Seattle, Washington, and he let me use the amp that Kurt used on Bleach and Suicide.
Well, nice, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I think you actually you told us that too in email too. I was like, this is a joke, right? Like this dude who's doing all this amazing stuff and like gets to like work with all these cool people really wants to come talk to us. Like he's heard our humor. We're not the most intelligent. He knows that, right?
Where our humor definitely doesn't need a whole lot to get. Like,
What's your favorite horror movie come out recently? My two favorite ones are Host and Ready or Not.
Oh my god, you stole mine. I was gonna pick Ready or Not. I gotta think of a different. I gotta think of a different one now. Cody, you choose because now I gotta think of a different one.
Mine's Train to Busan.
oh, The Invisible Man, the new one that came out, and I was gonna say Ready or Not also because honestly I would say probably the other one, the Child's Play remake. I honestly really like the Child's Play remake.
I did too. Frank said he really likes Train to Busan.
Oh, that one's so good, good.
But the new Child's Play is awesome because he's a blank slate. He learns to be evil by watching. It's like a commentary on kids and stuff.
I thought it was more of a commentary on just America in general and American social, like our social media and stuff like that, about how you can take something so just pure and innocent like this doll who just wants to learn to be a good person. Yeah. And instead it's corrupted because all we watch is like all we're told with the media and everything is you're evil.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
one reason why I really liked it. Plus the kills are just solid. Like that lawnmower kill is fucking great. And like everything with the car and the AI, I thought they did such a good so good with this movie.
And I mean, can we really talk? Can we please point out the creepy voyeur dude who gets his leg cut off? You know, being like, hey, like
that's Jack Black.
Yeah,
yeah, but
is it actually Jack Black?
No, it's not. I mean, I looked it up because I could have sworn it was, but it's not. The guy looks just like him.
It's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was too, but it's not. I forget his name. I'll let me look it up while
well, but still though, like that kill in Child's Play was like so intricate and over the top. It made it for me. I was like, okay, this is the Child's Play. This is the Chucky I know, the over the top gory kill. Okay, bravo, you got me.
Yeah. Besides, I hate saying this, but I'm an atheist, so it makes way more sense than voodoo.
No, that's fair. I don't know. I still like the original better than this one, but out of all of the remakes of the classic slashers, I think this is the best one.
I agree. And it even wasn't really supposed to be as much of a remake as it more was kind of like a what
reboot.
if love letter, you know?
Well, it's a reboot. So, like, how
Yeah.
this one is supposed to go is it was supposed to reboot the movie franchise so they could, so Universal, no, not Universal, MGM could do their own variant of Chucky and do away with all the old stuff so they can have their own new thing. And then there's the TV show that's going to be on Sci-Fi. That's a continuation of the original storyline.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so that one's going to continue the original Chucky storyline with Brad Dourif also still coming back and voicing Chucky. And then the new movie was supposed to reboot a whole entire new trilogy. And the guy's name is Trent Reddekopp.
Trent Rent-A-Cop.
The Jack Black lookalike.
Like his last name is Rent-A-Cop?
Reddekopp. Yeah, it almost sounds like Rent-A-Cop.
I mean, it kind of fits for the role he played, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't really a cop, though. I mean, he wasn't even a security guard. He was a creepy dude, but I guess
technically
security
he wasn't,
guards
but
work
he
with
felt like
cameras, so by that technicality it counts.
That's what I mean. I was like, he probably felt like he's like, I'm going to take over this entire building. Child's play.
So he's more like Rent-A-Creep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you're doing all this great stuff in the vanilla milkshakes. You're coming out, you're getting new stuff ready, keeping the momentum going.
And we're also doing a theme song for Trauma.
You want to talk a little bit more about that and what's going into that?
Yeah, basically we found a place that would trade studio time on iTrade, and Lloyd's a big fan of my music, and I was like, could we write a song for you? And at first it was during the time when he lost his YouTube channel, so it was gonna be a protest song. Then he got his YouTube channel back, and he's like, no, change the lyrics and make it celebrate Trauma. So I've been working on those and stuff, and also I had an idea for a movie that would just take one set, and he was like, cheap film, one set, horror, okay. So now I'm writing a script for a movie that might possibly come out through. I can't talk more about that.
No, you're totally fine. So Lloyd Kaufman,
we can edit part of that out, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Lloyd Kaufman is like the uncle that is like the uncle that keeps asking what time it is. He's so awesome though. When he doesn't want to deal with something, he's like, I never said that. I don't remember that.
That was me.
and to provide just a little context for our listeners, Trauma and Trauma Entertainment, Lloyd Kaufman, excuse me, I said Cloyd. Lloyd Kaufman started and is most notably known for movies such as Poltergeist, Class of Nukem High, and most notably The Toxic Avenger, one of my personal favorites. I love the Toxic Avenger series. And so, I mean, dude, this is exciting. Again, coming back to the fact that there's somebody that actually wants to come on our show who's working with Trauma Entertainment and actually wants to talk to us. We're just like, he's heard us, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been sending out to everybody and stuff, and you guys came back and were excited, and I was like, wow, I feel important.
Oh yeah, man.
Like we said, we'll do anything we can to support the underground scene, whether it's horror or punk rock or even metal, in some cases too.
Yeah.
We're there for the little guy no matter what, and we're there for the little guy because we're the little guys.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, metal is obviously horror. It's at least horror based. Just look at it.
I think if anybody's ever seen a Rob Zombie music video, that's pretty apparent.
I was about to say, cool, I got unlimited minutes.
Yay.
Oh, I got it too. I was like, oh, gee, thanks, Zoom. So coming back to it, so do you have a favorite Trauma film or property? I mean, what is this? It's probably been a bit surreal being able to do this a little bit, right? Being able to write a theme song for Trauma.
Actually, I'm just kind of taking it day by day. I like one thing about my condition is that I really don't get excited over big things like Noodles from the Offspring. like totally got me in for free to an Offspring show and stuff. And the only time I actually freaked out was when he called me over to say hi. I just don't get excited that easily, but I know these are good things, but I'm just kind of baseline most of the time.
No, that's, I mean, you're probably handling it a lot better than we would be. We would probably be overly excited.
I would have cried. Like, I mean, I probably would have pooped my pants and stuff from excitement.
We would have gotten so excited, we would have
Like,
lost control over our bowels.
Like, we'd be an embarrassment. So he handled it better.
It's kind of horrible, though. I have friends who worked in Hollywood for years, and they're all like, working for that retweet from James Gunn, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I was talking to someone, and they said write a script, and they're like, you mother.
So, if anything, I think it makes you more of a cool type of guy, dude. I mean, to be quite honest, I think it's really great. Even condition or non-condition, to just be able to go with the flow and accept it as it's coming to you and be able to handle it, I think is a very admirable thing. So I applaud you, sir.
Thank you. And also, I can legitimately say I could have written a better line.
You could what would be the line that you would have written? Do you have it?
Anytime someone just sees something weird and they go, fuck.
Okay, we'll take it. So you're doing all this great stuff with Trauma, okay? You're in the Vanilla Milkshakes making, punk rock music that Lloyd Kaufman himself, again, providing context, this guy has like an $8 million net worth, likes your music, and is just like, hey, can you write me a theme song? So you got already all this going for you, but on top of that, you're also helping write for Frankenhooker, right?
Yeah, the Frankenhooker reboot. All this stuff is really cool, but like everything's has a time frame of 2022.
Well, the fact that we get to be the first people, it sounds like, for the most part, to be able to hear about this is really exciting. I mean, Frankenhooker, for me, I thought was just going to be a forgotten name in the pages of horror history. And then, like, when you messaged us and you emailed us that you're writing on it, I had to, like, double look at the name. I'm like, wait, is legit Frankenhooker coming back? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because that was such a random movie.
It's one of those things where it's like Jay and Silent Bob. They're like, we got the rights on Craigslist for $200.
And it's just something that, again, like, it's a property, it's a name that I didn't even think would ever get attention ever again. And not gonna lie, because it's just a perfect B movie, like probably one of the most iconic at best. It's just like we get to talk to a guy who's actually working on the reboot for it. Can you share any of that? I mean, I know you're still like 2022, all that jazz is still farther down the line, but are you able to touch on that?
I can say that it will be a lot more serious now that we can use CGI. I have been granted a lot more liberty than the original has.
Cool.
And let's just say that look out for flying kidneys.
Flying kidneys. Okay. That's like legit anatomical kidneys, or like, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my mind is just like trying to create what possible like scenario would flying kidneys have in a Frankenhooker movie, and I just like, for some reason, I just have like the classic cartoon image of like flying pigs, but instead flying kidneys.
like, oh yeah, I'll do that when pigs fly, and then the monster's like, or how about kidneys, and like reaches in and rips it out, throws it across the thing, and the camera just follows the kidney.
and it lands sunny side up.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, you take the head.
Yeah, like, all right, so you're paying for breakfast, right?
Breakfast, yeah? Okay, good. All right, just no kidneys, please, for breakfast, or liver at that point either.
Well, that's why they made blenders.
You know what? I just realized something. But yeah, blend. You just said blenders, and now I'm just having an image of like a flying kidney flying into a blender, and then just like the bloody mess that would lead to. So.
Ever see Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the director's style. He totally changed the way fight scenes are done now. Like, now fight scenes are done to us. Fight scenes are almost a music video.
Yeah, especially that last final scene with the meat grinder is very apparent.
Yeah.
So as we're getting kind of a little more closer towards the end here, I wanted to bring it back just a little more times and one more time and ask you, David, what are some things that you're currently working on, aside from what we've already talked about with, both Frankenhooker and Petroma and for the Vanilla Milkshakes? What are some other things that people can keep their eyes on or looking forward to in the meantime, even if it is about the Vanilla Milkshakes as well?
Keep a lookout for the Steve Fisk remixes coming out in the month or 2 months. We're gonna probably do some demos and record the song, and we'll keep you updated too when the song goes live.
Does Frank want to hop on and say anything about the Vanilla Milkshakes or in general about horror?
No, just in general about horror. I don't really like horror movies all that much, to be honest with you. But I did, the ones that I've been watching with David, I've been getting a kick out. The Child's Play remake was sick. And I enjoyed the It phenomenon. Even though it was super popular, I still really liked it. Yeah, the new It series.
Did you like the first one or the second one more?
Probably the first one, because it kind of reminded me of like Goonies with some death.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It's real Goonies.
It's not Goonies unless the children's lives are actually in danger.
Right?
Yeah. So I think, and it was good. Yeah, it was good. It was one of those things where like they got you interested enough in the characters that you actually gave a shit. Where sometimes especially when you're talking about kids in horror movies, it's like, oh look, they're jumping rope, or oh look, she can,
And these kids are
whatever.
smoking and
these
stuff.
Kids they're smart, and well represented across the spectrum. Like all of their personalities came across really well, and transferred over to the adults that played them in the second movie.
The guy who played Eddie. The guy who played Eddie. Eddie really really looks like the kid Eddie.
Yeah.
I think Eddie, that was the one that was played by Will Forte, isn't it? I think it's Will Forte. No, let me check. I'll find out.
Yeah.
Eddie's the one who basically marries his mom, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the angry one.
Bill Hader. Why I always confuse Bill Hader and Will Forte for some reason.
No,
not Bill Hader.
No, the one who breaks.
Oh, yeah, James Ransom. James Ransom.
Yeah, he looks just like the kid.
Duh. I don't know why, but I always confuse. Speaking of confusing Bill Hader and Will Forte, I also confuse Richie and Eddie's character a lot of times too, because they seem very similar to me just because they're both very kind of like sarcastic. Whereas obviously Richie is definitely supposed to be mostly the funny one. Whereas like when Eddie gets mad, overly like overwhelmed or anything, he just like snaps and just like rips at everyone, and I love that.
Yeah. Actually, if you at the very end of it too, if you can tell there is an untold subtext when he's writing Earhart's
R.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because Richie's in love with Eddie.
Yeah, because in the book he goes more into it and stuff like that. By the way, that book has a kiddie gangbang, but Stephen King doesn't want to rage.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest thing about the criticism against the new It movies when they came out. They're like, oh, what they didn't transfer everything from the books into the movies. I was like, I can do without the whole orgy scene, to be quite honest. So I think they did just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's what I like, and also I like the fact that when you look at the kids from the first movie, how they're all like kind of a representation of something. So like Richie's definitely representation of like being in the closet and stuff, and being accepting of who you are and stuff, and not being able to accept that. And Eddie is high anxiety, so like that's what I liked about it. And how I thought I liked the second one, like the part two, a lot. And I thought like the transference, like what Frank said about the transference of the characters of the kids to the adults was done really well. I thought it did really well too.
I agree. Yeah, they definitely did a better job than the one in the '90s did. To be quite honest.
Yeah, I like how this one died and better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Before we wrap up the show today, David, we got one more question to ask you, and it's the same question that we ask every musician, artist, and guest that we always ask somebody. Is what is a crazy story you're willing to share from a show that you've played with the Vanilla Milkshakes?
Well, we can't. We were gonna play this bar, and
I got one. No, I'll tell this one. This is hilarious.
Okay.
So this was last year.
This is Frank now, everybody.
Last year, so I drive a Nissan Leaf. Like honestly, can only go about 80 miles before it needs a charge, right? So, and now I'd already done this once before, and like within 6 months, totally forgot. But we got a gig in Fort Collins, and I figured I could get us there in the car, and we were driving. Was it Fort Collins? No, Loveland. Sorry, Loveland, because they don't have any weed. You can't smoke in Loveland. And we're going up, and we get off at the exit, and the car's already in like low power mode, and it's not letting me go over the 35 miles an hour. And then it just shuts itself off. We're 800 feet approximately, like we're on a road, but about 800 feet in a straight line shot to the charging station. So we waited for 2.5 hours for a tow truck to come tow me to the charging station. The bass player came in to get David. So I go to the charging station, charge it up, drive the car over to the show. We get there, and it's pretty late. We were supposed to be like the third to the last band. We ended up being the last band, and we're getting all of our stuff, bringing it inside. There's a bunch of people outside that David has already kind of talked to and whatnot, and they get ready to leave, and we haven't played yet. And then some of them start walking away, and he's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "You're not allowed to leave." He goes, "We sat in that car for 2.5 damn hours waiting for a tow truck to get here so that we could charge up just enough to get over here and play for you nice people. You've got to stay and listen to our music." And they were like, crappy people or whatever.
But half of them actually stayed.
Yeah, it was, it's not the
CDs too.
Yeah. He managed to guilt the entire audience into hanging out to listen to us play a show. And then most of them were actually glad that they did it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Why would they want to leave anyway?" And I said, "Well, honestly, they live in Loveland, so the idea would be that they'd probably leave after the second band because their high's worn off and they need to go back home and get stoned again." And we were the last band at that point, so the buzz had worn off. But he scared the buzz right back into him.
They're like, "We appreciate you coming all the way down here." I'm like, No, you don't.
No, you don't. Not till you listen to me.
Actions speak louder than words. Show me you appreciate it.
It's me and the 6'7" bass player standing there, and he looks at me and goes, "Do we do anything?" I was like, "I think he's got it under control this time. I'm not going to say anything." But that's about the only interesting thing I can think of as far as stories.
He's like, "Your 6'7" bass player is like, I might be 6'7", but his persuasive skills are at least a 7.8 height."
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that I think that we did was interesting, at least recently, is we opened for, what was that, When in Rome?
When in Rome, yeah. When in Rome, and
we got kicked out of the dressing room because they had that dressing room for them.
It
was just two dudes.
We opened for the band that does the song "I Want Candy."
But that's like, I just like that's so badass because we talked to so many bands, right? And if that happened to any of them, I feel like they would have just kept playing on and kept going strong. And you're just like, no, you're gonna listen to us play. like that's badass. Like you literally took the whole room and you're like, no, you're all gonna have to hear what I have to say. Like, really, man. Like, talk about being punk rock about it. Like, honestly, like the fact that like I think that's probably my favorite story we've heard all year, to be quite honest, just because like again, just like no, everybody stays until we say so.
That's David's autism superpower.
like in all Stephen King's books.
Stephen King's books. That's David's autism superpower. It's the you will stay and watch me play superpower. I don't know why they zombie back into the building. Oh, we need to watch this guy.
It would probably, no offense, but it would probably be one of the more boring horror movies with a kid that has a superpower. Instead of lighting things on fire, he just makes you sit down.
I can make that into a horror movie. Imagine a teacher that can make the kids sit down.
Okay, there you go. Going in the right direction. They would probably have to do some sort of like twisted torture device or something to like make it more horrific. Like you're gonna sit and take this beating. I don't know.
Yeah, Zombies Good Will Hunting or The Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. I was saying that reminded me of Frank Myers' story with Tiny Tim, basically. Like he pulls up to like this thing to help out his brother, and the whole entire band was like, hey, so you're gonna play for us now. And he's like, I just got off a flight, I want to go home. And they're like, no, we got a guitar and there's this band, so you're playing for us now. It's like the reverse of what you did. You're like, no, you will listen to us.
I love that. I mean, seriously, like the guts you have to just be able to do that. I applaud you, sir. I bet your entire band also thanks you for having that type of superpower.
Yeah, it also, we sold like 10 CDs that night. It was awesome.
The best part of the story, though,
did you sell 10 CDs or did you persuade them to buy 10 CDs?
He persuaded them to buy 10 CDs. They had no choice. But after the show, we left and went back to the same charging station to charge the car. And hold on. And we got up to like 96% on the charge window. And I'm like, we'll be all right. So we leave there. We start driving back home. We're about 20 miles from the house. And the car says we've only got about 8 miles to go. And we are 7.5 miles from another charging station. So we left the house at like 4:00 in the afternoon. We got back home at 4:30 in the morning after waiting for another tow truck to tow us to another charging station to charge for another half an hour so we could get back home. It's not a great endorsement of the Nissan Leaf, but you can fit all of your gear in that car. You just can only go as far as like downtown Denver.
Well, that's awesome.
You guys have been keeping me from pizza all this time.
Okay, we'll let you get to your pizza. David, Frank, thank you both of you for coming on and hanging out with us and talking about everything that you're working on, talking about the vanilla milkshakes, talking about Troma and Frankenhooker. This has definitely been a blast. David, where can everybody go to support you and what you're doing along with the vanilla milkshakes as well?
We're on Spotify, Pandora, and everywhere good music is heard.
You got it. Alrighty then. Ghouls, Gals, Creeps, and Mutants. Make sure you check those links below. You'll be able to follow them there. David and Frank, thank you to both of you again for coming on and hanging out with us and talking with us.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll talk with you next time.
Question to